All right. You want to get into some stories here?
Yeah, we can do one or two. Why not?
Sure. All right. Let me pull up a story or two, and we'll see what is happening in the world.
I want to tell you butthole something. This shit is way out of line.
Exactly. All right. Let me see here. I had something on tap.
All right.
Something that, let's see here. I was trying to decide which one to go with here. Let's see. I think what we'll go with here is a story that we covered actually a couple of months ago.
Okay.
A couple of months ago, I think this was back like in August.
Mm-hmm.
There was a policeman or police patrol officer that was fired back out in Georgia.
Okay.
Because supposedly she was flying a Confederate flag.
Okay.
In front of her house.
All right.
I don't know if you remember this or not.
Yeah, I remember that.
A former police officer fired for flying the Confederate flag at her suburban Atlanta home has filed a federal lawsuit.
Nice.
Saying her termination violates her constitutional rights to her free speech.
Okay.
I think you may remember this. This is when she said that she didn't realize that there was any issue with the Confederate flag. Yeah. And she had it flying out in front of her house, and somebody complained.
Mm-hmm.
And she got fired because of it.
I'm going to be honest. I hope she wins this case.
Sylvia Cotris, Cotriss,
mm-hmm.
had worked for the Boswell Police Department for about 20 years and was a sergeant when she was fired in July.
Okay.
So this goes back to the summer. I believe we covered this story.
Mm-hmm.
The lawsuit was filed Wednesday against the city of Roswell, the police chief, and the city administrator. The city attorney's office declined to comment on Friday. This sort of high-handed, politically correct firing by the city of Boswell sets a horrible precedent and endangers the employment and constitutional rights of government employees across the state of Georgia.
Wow.
Someone sent an email to the police chief on July 11th complaining that there was a Confederate flag in front of the home of a neighboring Woodstock and that he believed a Roswell police officer lived there because he had seen a Roswell police vehicle parked in the driveway, the lawsuit says.
Well.
Can you believe people get that involved saying, I'm going to report them?
Yeah, can I believe it? Sure, I can. You know what I'd like to say to those fucking people when they do that?
Tell me.
Is it possible for you to shut the fuck up for 10 seconds?
Sure.
That's what I want to tell them.
I don't know about you, but when I see stuff like that,
yeah,
what are you really going to do about that?
Nothing.
I mean, in all reality,
mm-hmm.
What are you going to do about that?
Not a damn thing. Ignore it. That's what I would do. Just ignore it. Who gives a fuck?
I always like these social justice warriors who got to go out of their way
mm-hmm.
and go, I don't like that. I'm going to complain.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
They have a Confederate flag, and I hate what that represents to me.
Yeah, so?
So they should not be allowed to do that.
Here's where the problem lies, though, dude. And I honestly believe this. I'm not just saying it to be, like, silly on the radio or anything. The problem is not with the complainers. The problem is with the people that cave to the complainers. You know, if somebody complains about something you're doing in your yard or whatever, tell them to go fuck themselves. Don't fucking cave. Say, hey, fuck you. If you come in my yard, I'll knock you the fuck out.
Right.
That's the answer. Tell them straight out, back the fuck out of here. I don't give a fuck what your answer is. You know, I don't like your fat wife either, but I fucking look at her fucking gunt dragging across the fucking driveway.
Sure.
So fuck off. You know, that's the answer. Just fucking meet them with absolute hate. Don't fucking cave in. Do not cave into this shit. That's where everybody fails. There's only a PC culture because people react to it. If you just are like, fuck you, I don't care what you think, then it'll go away. That's just how it is.
Well, I agree. The man told the chief he felt. See, that's the word that always gets involved with everything, is this is how I feel about this.
Yeah, exactly.
That due to the current race, police, and human relations issues, an officer shouldn't be, here's the key word, allowed
fuck off
to display that flag.
How dare they be allowed to fucking exercise their freedom of speech because of their job?
They shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, because I work here 8 hours a day, the other 16 a day, I can't express myself.
Well,
fuck off.
How many times over the 20 years that we've been involved with this show have we received emails that have told us you shouldn't be allowed to say what you say?
Yeah, we get them all the time. We still get them all the time.
You shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, look at these cocksuckers on fucking YouTube constantly.
I know.
You guys should be fired.
You shouldn't be allowed to say what you say.
I'm going to get you kicked off the air.
I love it.
I do too.
You shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, I'm going to get you kicked off, pal.
Because you're saying something that I don't agree with.
You hurt my feelings. And nothing is more important than my feelings.
Exactly. So that's the complaint that this neighbor said.
Yeah, well, neighbor, eat a bag of dicks.
Which reminds me, we talked about this earlier this week.
Yeah.
About the CMS awards.
Yes.
About somebody making a comment on the Facebook.
Yep.
That the CMS ought to give out awards, and our award would be giving out bags of dicks.
I'm in for that, actually. Do you want to do that? We can do that.
It's the CMS Bags of Dicks Award.
I could put up like a bunch of polls and have people vote on it, and then we could have an award show.
Sure.
You know, the CMS Awards.
The CMS Awards. Here's your bag of dicks, fucky.
Now, Bandy, give me your address so I can send you a bag of dicks.
Right. That was a comment made about the Heavy Metal Music Awards.
Right.
And our good friend Bob Nalbandian getting his award for the best documents or documentarian.
So is our award still filled, or is it an empty bottle?
Well, I had to empty it out because I had to fly home with it.
Oh, that's right. You had to travel.
I had to travel.
So what was it originally?
I think it was just water.
But I mean, what was the bottle?
Oh, I have no idea. I'm thinking that it might have been Bacardi or something.
Okay.
I don't know because it's spray painted over.
Nice.
But I have it sitting up here on the CMS shelf.
Of course you do. It's a badge of honor.
It is. So funny. Yeah. All right. Anyway, getting back to the story. Cottress acknowledges flying a Confederate flag below an American flag on a flagpole in the front yard of the home she owns.
Yeah.
Previously, she had flown a flag that had a motorcycle in the center of the smaller version of the Confederate flag since April of 2015.
Okay.
Several weeks before her firing, she gave her housemate permission to take down that flag and put up a Confederate flag a neighbor had given him.
Okay.
So she was flying like a Harley flag or something.
Right.
But then they put up a Confederate flag, that racist symbol of hate.
Yeah. How about that?
Yeah. She believed the flag was a way to honor her husband, who had died in May, as well as her Southern heritage, the lawsuit says.
What was he, a slave owner?
She honored her husband. She had not had a Roswell police vehicle in her driveway since May, when the vehicle she had taken in to have the radio replaced and wasn't returned to her, the lawsuit said. No one at the department ever asked her to remove the flag, and no one explained to her the concerns raised in the email by the chief, the lawsuit says. She was placed on paid administrative leave the day after the complaint came in, and she was fired on July 14th.
Here's my question. How does a Confederate flag honor a dead person? A current dead person, not somebody from like 1820.
If you were friends with Jesse James Dupree of Jackal.
Yes.
And he passed away for some reason. Mm-hmm. And you wanted to honor his memory, would you raise a Confederate flag in his memory?
No.
No?
No.
All right.
Would you?
Well, I'm not that sentimental, but if there was one symbol that I could raise up in a public forum to represent my friend Jesse James of Jackal, it would be the Confederate flag. And it would have a chainsaw in the middle.
Right. There you go. All right.
We're going to cross the X. It would have a big chainsaw.
Yeehaw, yeah.
Exactly. So I'm waiting for Nathan from Kentucky to have a Confederate flag with a chainsaw in the middle. I don't know, dude. I mean, everybody is sentimental about their own personal preferences.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm not from the South. Yeah. I don't assimilate to the people in the South, but I've traveled in the South, mm-hmm. And I know the people in the South, be it Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, even Virginia, or even West Virginia, Kentucky. They have a certain lifestyle down there, and it's not a lifestyle of I hate the niggers so I fly a Confederate flag type thing.
Right.
It's a lifestyle that says we're rebellious, or we go against the grain. Okay, and it doesn't it's not necessarily a racist ideal.
Right.
It's sort of like we don't capitulate to political correctness or whatever the norm is.
Right.
And I'd never looked at it as and again, I'm a lily white man, so I have that white privilege thing going for me.
Right.
But when I drove a truck, I traveled in the southern states quite a bit, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida. I traveled in those areas, and I conversed with a lot of people while I drove a truck, stopped at various places, etc. And those people have a certain pride about them, but it's not a nigger hating pride.
Okay.
It's just sort of like this is our lifestyle. We're separate from the mainstream. I guess that's what it kind of represents.
Mm-hmm.
And they hold that dear to them for whatever reason. It's like people, and I'm going to quote Sam Kinison from the movie Back to School. They hold those ideals sacred to them.
Okay.
But I never detected that we hold these ideals sacred to us because we hate the blacks.
Okay.
That never occurred to me even once.
Right.
That was more like we have a lifestyle down here that's out of step with modern society. Mm-hmm. Call it backward, call it old fashioned, whatever it is that you want to call it, but I never attached a racial component to it.
Sure.
Now, I know people do, and perhaps they have a just cause when it comes to that, but have I personally witnessed that? No, I have not.
Oh, what I never understand is, regardless of if they do or they don't, why do these fucking social justice cunts just blindly think that if you don't agree with them, that makes you wrong or bad? Why is it that they are? Is it that they are such lacking people of free thought that they need to be led to a cause? Is that what causes it? Or do they, because I just don't understand, and I try to, I really do. But I don't understand, for the life of me, I could never get mad about a flag, no matter what it was. I could never look at a flag and be like ready to fucking break somebody's skull.
I agree with you.
I would just be like, all right, look at that fucking dumbass, and that's it, and move the fuck on. And I could never be driven to tears by a fucking presidential election. And I could never be fucking angry if somebody said, I'll take the gay thing and I'll equate it a different way. Instead of gay, let's say that all of a sudden people had it in their head that you're a faggot if you have kids. Okay? So does that mean I could never equate somebody deciding to have kids as, well, that's fucked up? Not because it's good or bad, because Lord knows I don't want to have any more kids and you don't want to have kids. But so fucking what? Who are they to tell you what you should think? Like you don't have kids and you have no desire to ever have a kid, right?
Nope. I'm 50. I'm going to be 53 in 2 weeks.
Right.
And it never occurred to me once during my entire life.
Right.
Man, I want to go find a girl, procreate with her, and bang out a couple of kids. Right. Never once did that occur to me. It was just like, fuck that shit. I'm out of here.
And there are people that are out there, especially in the fucking religious side, that would look at you as being selfish for that. True?
My mother was one of them.
Yeah, she was probably all disappointed that you didn't give her a
Well,
grandchild.
no, but she passed away before that. But I will tell you, a story. When I was a very young fella, just a youngster.
Okay,
I may have been, I don't know, 6 to 8 years old, somewhere in that realm.
Okay.
What I remember, okay, what do you remember at 8 years old? But 6 or 8 years old,
not much.
But there was a young couple that went, and I went to church every week. That was the thing. That was a ritual for our family. We went to church every week, right? Mm-hmm. There was a young couple that seemed to be kind of hip and cool and with it and whatever. This was late 60s, early 70s. Right. And from what I remember, they were kind of like a very attractive couple. The gal was a very pretty attractive gal, and the guy was kind of, he was kind of modern, hip, whatever. Okay. And my mother, she would make some kind of a comment. She goes, something about, look at that couple, they don't have any children, or something to that effect. And it was just like, well, yeah. And they go, well, that's a very selfish way of living.
Right.
And I was just like, I don't quite get that thought process. I don't get that. Even at that young age, I didn't get it.
Sure.
It's just like, well, if they didn't want to have kids, why should they have kids? How is that selfish? That's just a personal choice. And this is the thought process I had as a kid.
Sure.
But that was her viewpoint because there were 7 children in my family.
Right.
And it was just like, well, look at them. Look at them enjoying their life as a young couple and being hip and cool, attractive, and they're not bogged down with children. So selfish.
Well, she sure wasn't selfish, huh?
You know what I'm saying? But that lived with me my entire life.
Yeah.
So
I love my mom, but your mom showed me a more fun time.
Exactly. Exactly. Thank you, Mikey.
Thank you, Mikey.
Right.
It's the first time we've ever had an actual use for that.
Right. But that is the truth. And I remember that like it was yesterday.
Right. Well, but that's the thing is this is where the social justice assholes lose me. At some point, the social justice is going to be against their way of life. Why do they fucking not see that instead of being a judgmental turd, that they should just fucking go with whatever? You can believe whatever you want to believe. If you believe that the Confederate flag is bad, you can believe that, and that's fine. But outside of believing it, who the fuck are you?
Well, see, this goes back to everything that you and I have encountered over the years of doing this show.
Yeah.
Of the emails or the comments that we've received on YouTube or whatever the case may be.
Uh-huh.
I don't like this, so you shouldn't be allowed.
Right.
And that's where it boils down to. This goes against my grain, so you should not be allowed to do that.
Yeah. But how come these people are so shallow that they don't see that at some point something is going to go against their grain and they're going to be shit out of luck? It always works that way. Doesn't it?
It does. But those are the people who are out there parading around and holding signs and, down with this and down with that and you shouldn't be allowed and, Black Lives Matter and Trump is not my president and, those people.
But you know what? I'm good with all of that. I'm good with them being pissed. Go ahead, be pissed. But don't come off like, well, because you're pissed, I should accept that. Like I should cave into your side. Fuck off. Be pissed. Go march. Go fucking raise hell at the inauguration next month or whatever the fuck you're planning on doing. Go have a big fucking circle jerk with Michael Moore. I don't give a fuck. Go ahead. But
there it is. There's Jesse James with a chainsaw on a Confederate flag.
Rest in peace, Jesse.
Nice.
God damn it, that's funny.
Perfect. Couldn't have done it any better.
That is really funny.
Awesome.
But yeah, I just for the life of me, I cannot figure out the whole social justice nonsense. Lord knows I hated fucking Obama. Hated this fucking cocksucker. Hated everything he stood for. But Lord knows I wasn't trying to convince anybody else. I just said what I thought. Not well, if can you imagine, and you know this about me, dude, I will argue politics with all kinds of fucking liberals. True?
Absolutely.
Can you imagine how few people I would still have left as friends if I was like, well, you fucking believe that this Obamacare is a good thing, so you're not my friend anymore.
Right. I'm blocking you, pal.
Can you imagine how few people I would still have in my circle? That's just dumb. That's just dumb. And believe me, today I think the same about fucking liberals as I did 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I think they're all fucking insane and selfish. And that being said, you know what? Their politics doesn't mean dick to me. So why should I be fucking upset about it? I don't care. Why do people care is what I don't get. I get that you care about it as a country, but you should not care on a one-to-one basis. It's not your fucking business.
I agree. Period. I'm going to get you fired, pal, for your thoughts.
Whatever. Go ahead. Tell my boss.
Yeah.
At either company. Tell the boss.
All right. No one at the department ever asked her to remove the flag, and no one explained to her that the concerns raised in the email to the chief, the lawsuit said. She was placed on paid administrative leave the day after the complaint came in, and she was fired on July 14th. The reasons given for her firing were a violation of policies that applied whether an officer or an on-duty officer that required apply whether an officer is on or off duty, and that require an officer to act in a way that inspires confidence and respect from the public.
Who says that doesn't?
The fellow officers that prohibited any conduct that reflects unfavorably on the city as an employer. The lawsuit contends that Cottress was wrongfully terminated in violation of her First Amendment rights to free speech because displaying the Confederate flag at her private home was constitutionally protected speech and was a substantial motivating factor in her termination. That speech had no relationship to her job, the lawsuit says. Cottress has suffered the loss of pay and benefits and suffered severe emotional distress and pain and suffering. She is seeking actual and punitive damages.
I hope she wins every fucking penny. I hope she gets like $3 million. Honestly. And not because I even give a fuck about her cause. I really don't.
Right.
I just am so sick of these fucking assholes trying to dictate their fucking thoughts on other people.
I agree.
Just eat a bag of cunt.
Eat a bag of dicks.
I want to eat a bag of rotten cunt. Not even good cunt. I'm talking about like Betty White flavored cunt.
Sure.
Old, dried up, fucking, it's almost like eating potato chips, only they're made of skin. Just horrendous.
Again, it's hard for me to fathom. And again, I know it happens. But for someone to go, that person is flying a Confederate flag, I'm going to do something about that because it goes against my principles.
Do you know where they work? I'm calling their boss.
Right.
Fuck off.
I know.
Oh, now, let's be honest. And I want you to be deadly honest here. Let's just say your neighbor next to you, and I don't know your neighbor. I don't even know if you know your neighbor.
Hell, I don't even know my neighbor.
I was going to say, you probably don't. But let's say that your neighbor found that lawn jockey that you have in your office.
I love my lawn jockey.
But let's just say you invited him in to meet him.
Sure.
And he saw that lawn jockey.
Right.
And he called your boss and said, this guy is representing your company with this racist fucking thing in his house. And your boss said, you know what, Wendell? We're going to have to let you go. And you got fired. Would you not cave this fucker's skull in?
Oh, absolutely. But I would have to do exactly what this law officer did. I would have to file a lawsuit.
You'd file a lawsuit against the company.
Yeah, absolutely.
But wouldn't you go after the fucking neighbor?
It's like of course. It's just like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
If my neighbor did that to me, I would beat their ass and take the couple days in jail. It'd be worth the couple days in jail to send a message. You better never fucking utter my name again. You fucking cocksucking fuck. You know, that would be the message I'd be sending. And I wouldn't need a Confederate flag wrapped around my hand to make it count. You know, fucking idiots. Ugh, fucking hate people.
Fallen chat room has it right.
Eat a bag of dicks, baby.
I think that was your thought this week, as a matter of fact.
That's what I want to do, I want to buy those candies.
Yeah, those gummies.
Yeah, those gummy dicks.
Yeah, eat a bag of dicks.
We'll send them out to the winners of our awards thing.
The Eat a Bag of Dicks award.
Yeah. That would be good.
That's so great. Eat a bag of dicks.
I'd have to drive there so we could do it in person.
Exactly. Hey, you're the grand prize winner of a bag of dicks.
The winner of the most annoying phone caller is John Rufo. And on the phone right now to accept his bag of dicks is John Rufo.
Right. Well, look at Nathan from Kentucky.
There's a gay flag.
Boy, I tell you, Nathan is so good with the Photoshop.
Poor Tim. You know, you guys give Tim such a hard time for being a fag. And I mean, the guy came on the show and gave us fucking endless hours of entertainment by admitting that he sucked dick. I mean, that's ballsy.
It is.
And not just in the against his chin way.
Right.
I mean, that is a ballsy move to come on this show and admit that he sucked cock. And that he had his cock sucked by another man.
Right.
That's a fucking bold man.
Too good.
Yeah, it is.
Our fans are always on topic.
Yeah, boy, it's amazing how many bags of dicks there are out there. Jesus.
Bags of dicks.
Wow.
All right.